Good evening. A couple living in Massachi Lake is heartbroken and homeless tonight. Their mobile home has been destroyed by a fire. They've lost almost everything, and while insurance can replace their home of 17 years and some of their belongings, they're devastated by the loss of their beloved dogs. A News reporter Astrid Brownschmidt has more.
Bill Bergen sifts through what's left of his home, hoping to salvage something after fire destroyed everything.
Anybody hungry? I got a can of soup or something. Probably cooked.
He's trying to keep his spirits up, but the grief of losing his home and his 2 chihuahuas is overwhelming.
Not so much, the stuff. You lose stuff that happens. But losing the dogs. That's her. I'm hoping we can find their bodies and give them a proper birth. Sorry.
A dispatcher for the Massachi Lake Volunteer Fire Department, Bill left home early yesterday to look after his grandchildren while his wife went to work.
I left at 10 to 6. She left at 6:30, and by 7:15 the place was gone.
Although it's not confirmed, it's believed that the fire may have been electrical, and it's thought that it started near the kitchen.
Neighbors who are lending a helping hand say they could feel the heat of the fire inside their home.
We heard the fire alarm go, and I rolled over and I could actually see the orange glow through my blind.
Last night, Bill says he told his wife what he had bought her for Christmas.
And I got her a GPS because she's terrible at getting lost.
Now he says there's just one thing he'd like her to have.
What I'd really like is my dog back. Can't have that. I would like to be able to get my wife another dog. Okay, for me too. Sorry.
Tonight, Bill and Glenna are staying with family while they work with their insurance company to rebuild their lives. In Massachi Lake, Astrid Brownschmidt, A News.
A letter carrier in Nanaimo made a life-saving delivery when she banged on the door of a burning fourplex, warning the man inside to get out. She's one of several good Samaritans that the tenants of the building can thank. The fire broke out yesterday morning on Brackenwood Road. 2 roofers happened to be driving by when they noticed smoke. It was billowing out of the suite on the ground floor. They pulled over and rushed to get all the tenants out. A Canada Post worker also saw the smoke. She banged on the door of the suite that was on fire, yelling at the man inside to get out. He managed to escape and was taken to hospital for smoke inhalation. Everyone else and their pets got out okay. Fire investigators still don't know how the fire started. No one was injured. Tenants living in the 2 of the suites were allowed back in last night. The other 2 suites sustained heavy damage. The holiday season is supposed to be a joyous time for many people. It is not that. It can be lonely and painful. Feelings of isolation, arguments with relatives, and financial pressures can create a lot of stress, which at times can be unbearable. But just when you think there is nowhere to turn, help is available. A News reporter Aaron Glazer has the story.
It can be a stressful time of year for everyone, and police say this is when domestic disputes peak and officers do their best to keep situations under control.
We do what we can. We make referrals to the appropriate agencies, we want to make sure that everybody has a really good Christmas this year, and hopefully peaceful and absent any domestic disputes.
When in crisis and don't know who to call, the Vancouver Island Crisis Helpline is there for you.
You can call 24 hours a day, and just needing to hear that voice on the other end of the line, for someone going through a very scary time, just having that support is crucial.
Up and down Vancouver Island and the Gulf Islands, the line not only offers crisis support, but provides you with emotional guidance and information about community resources. And not only can those in trouble call the Vancouver Island Crisis Line, there is now a new option for those under 25. With a click of a button, they can access help at youthspace.ca.
This is how they're connecting with each other. This is how they're reaching out. So we have to meet them where they're at. So you can come in safely and freely, talk about whatever's going on for you.
Along with the chat room, there is an open forum where users can post comments on subjects such as relationships and family, school, and suicidal feelings. Online counselors then offer advice and coping strategies, and the person in crisis can also be connected further with the support workers.
We are open over Christmas and we're open over New Year's, so people can get connected that way as well. And really just reaching out and getting connected to your community around you, neighbors, friends, trying to fight the isolation in those ways.
If you or someone you know is having trouble coping this holiday season at any age, help is available and people are ready to give support.
Aaron Glazier reporting tonight. The Committee to End Homelessness in Victoria held a memorial service this afternoon to remember the street people who died in the capital region this year. Members of Victoria's street communities, some Victoria City councillors, and representatives from the Committee to End Homelessness gathered for a candlelight vigil. The group says more than 100 people died on the streets, but that number has not been confirmed. Homeless advocates say it's important to remember the dead for who they are and who they were as people, not for the challenges they faced.
What I would like to see is for our governments to really sit up and pay attention and looking at these families as people first, instead of looking at them as stats. And let's say that we need a guaranteed livable income. These people can contribute to our society and have contributed in positive ways, and that they're not all addicts and that they're not all drugs. They are people first.
Homeless advocates would also like to see a permanent memorial in downtown Victoria remembering those who have died on the streets. 3 men convicted of an assault in a videotaped beating in Courtenay learned their sentences today. Video of the racially charged attack spread quickly over the internet. In passing his sentence today, the judge said he knew not everyone would be pleased. Gord Curvis reports.
As they approach court today, 2 of 3 men found guilty of assault in that infamous YouTube fight video are still not talking about their predicament.
Sorry, no comment.
In his sentencing, Judge Peter Doherty made note of all the men's connection with alcohol, calling the fight, which was posted on YouTube for the world to see, a few minutes of liquor-fueled stupidity. He said the 3 behaved like barbarous lugs and gave them varying sentences. For Robert Rogers, who kicked Phillips when he was on the ground, changing the consensual fight into assault, a $500 fine plus victim surcharge, 8 months probation, and other restrictions. Rogers says he's glad it's over and admits to this day he's still not bothered by the video.
Something that I can't help. It's in my brain. I was there when it happened, so I can't just erase something like that from my own memory.
For Adam Huber, who has already been in custody for 45 days over various breaches, time served plus 1 extra day, as well as 12 months of probation plus counseling for substance abuse. For David White, whom the judge called the catalyst of the event because of his racial slurs, 30's condition sentence, plus a 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew, followed by 12 months of probation and a $100 fine for his previous breach.
You feel it's not a bit blown out of proportion?
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah.
Did you feel singled out? Because you kind of took right to it.
Well, yeah, for the racial stuff, but it's all done now, so I'm just happy with that.
After the sentencing, the victim's mother said she was also relieved this is now behind her and Jay's family.
It's also impacting us, the fact that it's out there, you know, and someday my son's little boy will see it.
The judge noted regardless of his sentences, because of the now famous video, the 3 will forever be judged by the community, something this RCMP hate crime investigator agrees with.
This court process concluding, we're hoping that Courtenay can move on.
In Courtenay, Gord Curvis, A News.
Victoria police have helped a man who says he was the victim of extortion after spending the night with an escort he met on Craigslist. Vic PD says the man's encounter went awry when he woke up and found his computer missing. He says he then began getting text messages demanding $2,000 in cash to get it back. That's when the 26-year-old decided to call police, who then set up a sting to catch the alleged extortionist. The man, under police surveillance, set up a meeting in a gas station parking lot. Police swooped in and arrested a 28-year-old woman. The woman is being charged with extortion and possession of stolen property. A Senate committee set up to study lighthouse operations on Canada's coastlines is recommending Ottawa continue staffing the facilities for now. The committee visited Vancouver Island last month and says the Department of Fisheries should halt its lighthouse de-staffing plan and suggested future staffing decisions should be made on a case-by-case basis. It says guidelines and consultations are needed to determine whether keepers should be maintained in Newfoundland and Labrador and in British Columbia. Until that happens, the committee's members unanimously recommended that staffing continue. It also recommended a comprehensive cost-benefit analysis be done on the full range of services provided by staffed lighthouses. The federal fisheries minister announced Ottawa has now stalled plans to remove lighthouse keepers. The latest Hollywood movie to film near Vancouver has stopped production tonight. Still to come on A News at 11, half a dozen people were injured during an explosion on set.
Hi, I'm Bruce Williams in Nanaimo. Look, it's raining. It's pretty windy, too. Take a look outside. Here are the current conditions for you right now. From the SchoolNet weather sensors, I'm going to come back to tell you all about the weather, including Christmas time. That's coming up on A News.
Set their imaginations free with gifts so thrilling to get and to give. Future Shop. Exciting stuff.
There was a time when tough foods wreaked havoc until Cascade All-in-One Action Packs. The best of powder and gel in one pack combined to conquer tough foods and greasy messes. Cascade All-in-One Action Packs. Combine and conquer.
Over here! Put your roots in reverse. With Root Touch-Up by Nice and Easy. It extends the life of your color in 10 minutes with a seamless match to any brand. Guaranteed! Roots are out of there with Root Touch-Up by Nice and Easy.
The 12 days of Spaceless and while featuring the Star Trek movie marathon. The ticket man. All new Doctor Who. Blockbuster movies. Autobots. Wow. And the complete Star Wars saga.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
Begins December 23rd only on Space.
There's nothing more thrilling than giving great gifts and getting great deals. Like a Canon camera with memory card for $159.99 and a laptop with 3 gigs of RAM for $329.99. Future Shop. Exciting stuff.
The RCMP and WorkSafe BC are investigating after an explosion on a movie set near Vancouver injured 6 people. The Maple Ridge Fire Department says there was a propane explosion yesterday in Golden Ears Provincial Park, leaving 6 people with burns, one of which also has a broken leg. The explosion happened on the set of In the Name of the King 2. It's an action movie starring Dolph Lundgren. He's best known for his work with Sylvester Stallone in Rocky IV and The Expendables.
When the coupling came away from the actual smaller propane tank, of course it continues to spread the propane in the air, and once it met the heat from the heater, that created this explosion.
A leaked U.S. government document says resource pressures caused by the Vancouver Olympics prompted the RCMP to curb drug investigations. The February 2009 cable obtained by WikiLeaks and published by the British newspaper The Guardian says the Mounties had all but stopped marijuana-related investigations. The cable says a U.S. drug enforcement agent was told by the RCMP that by September 2009, all regional drug agents would be working on the Olympics. The cable also says the Mounties were undergoing severe belt tightening. The Vancouver Winter Olympics were carried out this February with no breaches in security. The cable is among more than 250,000 U.S. diplomatic dispatches WikiLeaks plans to publish. Some travelers who thought they'd be spending the holidays in the airport will make it home for Christmas after all. People booked on Air Canada flights to Europe this evening can breathe a sigh of relief. Air Canada says its full schedule to London's Heathrow Airport will be in place tonight. But that may be small comfort to travelers who were stranded. Air Canada says it could take up to a week for them to get where they're going. The severe weather in Europe is also delaying the repatriation ceremony for Canadian Corporal Steve Martin. The military plane carrying Corporal Martin's body was due to arrive at CFB Trenton this afternoon. But after stopping in Germany, the plane was grounded due to snow and icy conditions. The ceremony has been moved to tomorrow afternoon. Corporal Martin was killed Saturday by an IED. He was just 2 days short of his 25th birthday. Atlantic Canada is being hammered by a nor'easter that's caused power outages and coastal flooding throughout the region. Eastern Nova Scotia, Cape Breton, and Prince Edward Island will see the highest amounts of rainfall. Thousands have been left without electricity. Ferry traffic between Nova Scotia and Newfoundland has been stopped.